Welcome back to Tanya in 5. The last few days we have been studying chapter 33. The Alter Rebbe now returns to the subject of joy. In chapter 31, the Alter Rebbe told us a method of joy in that we allow the soul to express itself and break out of the shell of the arrogant animal soul and give it expression and joy in attachment to God through fulfillment of Torah mitzvahs. In chapter 33, the Alter Rebbe gives us another method, another tool to generate joy in attachment to God. And that is as follows. The purpose for all of creation, the purpose for which I was put in this world, and the purpose for which we were all put in this world, is to reveal godliness here on earth. Now the truth is, as we explained in chapter 21, God is already here. He always was here and always will be here. So his presence is not the question. The question is if that presence is revealed. Is it obvious and is it conscious? And therefore, if I sit down in my home and I contemplate and consider my faith in God, I envision this truth that God is the only reality and that God is here presently now with me. Then, in my thought, I have revealed godliness in this world. Because in truth, He's already here. Now I'm just conscious of it. And thus, I've revealed it. Revealed it into me, into my thought, and into my personal life. So 3 things happen. In the moment that I envision my faith in God's oneness, that should inspire joy. Number 1, I am God's personal host. God is here. He is here in the spot that I am standing. And the moment I think about His presence here, I am now hosting Him in my mind. That's reason for joy. I am God's personal host. Number 2, in the moment that I envision my faith in God, I am fulfilling the purpose for which I was created, and fulfilling the purpose for which the entire world was created. Could there be anything more gratifying than that? Fulfilling the purpose for which I was created? In fact, this joyous faith could inspire me and should inspire me to fulfill everything else I have to do. Torah, mitzvahs, and so on. Number 3, when I host God in my mind by envisioning my faith in Him, when I feel that joy of fulfilling my purpose, God is happy too. God is overjoyed that a Jew has found Him. He concealed himself, and the Jew was walking in an area where he could not see God. It was dark. And the Jew found Him. God is overjoyed. God couldn't be prouder of you. And the darker the world, the darker your personal world. And then you find God in that darkness. You find God and subdue the darkness that conceals Him. The greater God's joy and the more proud God is of you. And thus you should be proud. And you should be happy about that too. The takeaway from all of this is, in addition to the obvious instructions that the Alter Rebbe is giving us to engender joy, is perhaps the following. What the Alter Rebbe is teaching us is that true joy cannot and should not be dependent on the world around me. If my joy comes from the things I get in life, as fast as they come, as fast as they go, this is not real joy. Real joy is the kind of joy that comes from something I have inside of me that nobody can take away from me because nobody gave it to me. And that is my inherent faith I have in God as a Jew. No matter what my circumstances in life are, I can always find that faith. And if I do, I can be joyous with that faith as described. I could be in a jail in the gulag of Russia, or I can be in a beautiful home in Hampstead. It makes no difference. That faith that I have in God is always there and can always sustain me in a happy and joyous life of attachment to God. Looking forward to seeing you when we conclude chapter 34.